Okay, so the next stage of designing a solution, right? So we've talked to the customer, we've figured out really the why. What are you wanting? Why do you want it? Understanding that business need. The second stage of that is the research stage. So we've collected all the information and now we've got to do the research. Jeremy, you want to talk about that?
Sure. Whenever we are designing a solution for a customer, we're taking all of that data that we have gathered through the consultative process with the client. We're bringing that back to our organization, and many times we're working with our teammates to understand if they have put together a solution like that before. In many cases we may have a go-to solution already. I'll use an example of a virtualization solution. We many times will already have a few standard specs for what that should look like, and we're able to utilize when possible that standardized solution that we put together. The idea behind that is that it minimizes the amount of new research we have to go do. It also lets us work with trusted components, trusted partners, so that we're able to design a solution that we can stand behind with our customers.
You know, one of the things to kind of remember is there's probably not one magic bullet. There's not one size fits all. There's not that kind of stuff out there. And kind of what Jeremy was talking about is you know, we may have some bits and pieces that we've done for other people before, and bringing it together, really those components, bringing them together into a new solution. That's really what the customer's looking for. One of the important things about that research phase is like Eric talked about, the trust factor. You've got with tech, really any solutions, but really with tech, you have one opportunity to make a mark, right? And you've got to make sure it's perfect every time. And so what we want to do in that research phase is make sure that we don't miss anything, and make sure everything's going to work like we expect it to. And it's okay to go to the customer and say, hey, based on the research, it's going to be X, Y, Z, but what we want to do is we want to lab it out. We want to do a proof of concept. We want to talk to the vendor and, you know, make sure it works, because at the end of the day, you're really that customer's advocate. We're going to bring all these things together and make sure that it works for good before we move on to the next stage.
And I would like to mention during this time, this is also whenever we may go through several iterative processes where we go back to the client, we show them a draft of what we're working on, they will provide input on it. We also may go back and say, you know what, we need to go ask the customer another question about this to collect some more information. This is the time to do that, because we want to find all of the gotchas out there that we possibly can at this stage, so that whenever we deliver that proposal to the customer, we know that it's going to be correct and we're going to minimize issues we have down the road whenever we get into implementation.
Mm-hmm.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.